Hey guys, Carl from Moose Plays. Today I'm taking a look at a new expansion for the Mysticana deck from Button Shy Games. This is Mysticana Wild Magic from designers Dustin, Dobson, and Jamie Thul, who are actually the designers of the core Mysticana deck itself, and again, publisher Button Shy Games. If you don't know what Mysticana is, it's a sort of 18-card deck of cards in 3 suits numbered 1 through 6 that can be used to play a variety of different games, sort of like how a normal deck of playing cards could be used to play things like hearts or spades or go fish or war or a variety of different games. Only here it's an 18-card deck of cards, and then every time a new game is sort of developed for this from a variety of different designers, an additional sort of 6-card expansion will be added to the original 18-card deck to sort of change things up in some way to help it play whatever the new game is. So here we have Wild Magic. This is a 1-to-2 sort of head-to-head battle kind of game using, again, this Mysticana deck of cards. That's basically all I'm going to say up top here. I do want to give you the disclaimer that I was given this expansion and the main game as well as review copies from the publisher. But with that said, I will do my best to give you my own honest opinion on the game. With that said, let's head down to the table to see how this one plays solo, and then I'll meet you back up here to let you know what I think. To set up a solo game of Mysticana Wild Magic, begin by starting with the standard Mysticana deck, mixing in the 3/7 Arcanum cards into that deck, and giving them a good shuffle. Removing one card without looking at it from random, or at random, sorry, from that deck, placing the 2 cards at the top of the deck into the sort of center of the play area known as the ether. Next, for the solo mode, you're going to take the remaining cards and separate them into 2 9-card decks. Just double checking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 for me, which I'll set over here, and 1 for the AI, which I will set off down here in the corner. And the AI has no hand of cards, but I will draw a hand of 3 cards from my deck, like that. And with that, we are all set up for a normal game of Wild Magic. However, the other 3 cards in this expansion are these style cards. They are double-sided. These give you some kind of special ability or special scoring condition or so on. So I'm going to give these a shuffle, and based on the AI rules, there are 3 different sort of difficulty levels in the game. On the easy mode, you don't use style cards at all. On the normal mode, we're each going to take 1 style card, and in the difficult mode, I would take 1 and the AI would take 2. I will play on the normal difficulty level for this video. So for this video, I will be playing with this style card here, the Blazing Lion. It says this style advocates flashy displays to unnerve opponents, an echo of the lion's boastful roar. It says after backfire, double the rank of your lowest ranked fire. If it's face down, it becomes -2. I'll explain what all of that means in just a minute, but I'm going to set that there. And then the AI for here is going to be the Thieving Monkey style. The Thieving Monkey does not care what it takes. Its devotees are more thoughtful, yet no less greedy. Ongoing, when you play an Arcanum, rank 7, the capture ability targets your opponent's spell instead of the ether. Well, that's going to be not so nice for me, but we'll see how all of that comes into play in just a minute. But like that, we are all set up for gameplay. And a game of Mysticana is going to play out over a series of sort of 8.5 turns, and you'll see what the half turn is in just a minute, with me going first every time in the solo mode. And on my turn, I'm going to play one of the 3 cards from my hand into this ether. And what's going to happen is I'm then going to take from the ether any card that matches the value of the card that I've played, plus any card of the matching suit of 1 value lower. And if I play this value 1, then a 7 will wrap. So if I played a 1 green, I would take that 7. In addition, if I ever play a 7 as written down here at the bottom, you're going to take the lowest ranked or lowest value card of the suit that is beaten by that suit. So remembering that sort of leaves or nature always beats water, water beats fire, and fire beats earth. So in the case were I to play this 7 from my hand, I would also take the lowest value or lowest ranked water card from here. And whatever cards I capture from here will get placed into my spell. And my spell is going to be how we compete at the end of the game. At the end of the game, first thing we're going to do is we're going to check all of our cards in our spell. And for every card, if I have exactly 2 cards of matching value, those cards are going to get placed face down, and they will be worth -1 points each. Or in the case of this fire, if that's the one I double, would be -2. And then adding up all of the values of the face-up cards, subtracting 1 for every face-down card in a given suit, we will calculate the total value of that suit for myself and the total value of that suit for the AI. And whoever has the higher value of that suit will score basically 1 point for that suit. So we're going to compare all 3 suits, and whoever has the most points means the most won suits will be the winner of the game. And if there is a tie for value when comparing suits, whoever has the highest value or highest ranked card of that suit, of that element, will win that element. But again, the AI has a power this time that says anytime they play 7, instead of capturing from here, they're going to be capturing from my spell instead. All right, so let's go ahead and get into things. Now, I could play this water 1 and capture this fire 1, except that I double the rank of my lowest fire. And if 1 is my lowest fire doubled, that becomes a 2. That's a waste of a double, so I don't really care about that. So I'm going to play, I don't really know anything from what I've got. So I'm going to put this 4 fire out there like that. And then I draw a new card, which so far isn't really helping me. The AI's turn, they're simply going to flip the top card of the deck and place it in the ether. The AI is going to do exactly the same thing I do, except in addition to capturing a matching element card that is 1 value lower or 1 rank lower, it will also capture the one that is 1 rank higher. Again, wrapping from 7 to 1. So they're going to play their card into the ether, which is a 3 water. So they're looking for any 3s, and then also the 2 or 4 water, which doesn't exist right now, so we are safe. But I am still not getting anything with my hand. I still don't want that fire. So I am going to play out a 2. Yeah, let me play out the 2 earth. Ooh, 7 fire is nice. He's playing out, okay, so here we go. He plays out the 3 earth, means he takes the 3 here because it matches. And he takes the 2 because it's 1 lower than the 3. If there was a 4 leaf, he would also take that. But that is his spell now, like that. Now my turn, if I play this 7, I take this. I would take a 6 fire, there isn't one, but I'll also take the lowest ranked green, which is this 3. So I get a 7 and a 3. I think I'm going to do that. I'll play that and take those. So those are going to be my earth cards. Replacing my card. He plays a 2 water, no 2 and no water, so that's nothing for him. All right, a 4 fire would be nice because doubled becomes 8. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to play this 4 into the ether and take that 4 into my spell. Oh, and I did mention, I should mention it again here, that we were going to play 8.5 turns. The last card that I have in my hand will not get played into the ether. It will simply go straight into my spell. All right. AI's turn. 6. There's no 6s. Higher is a 7, lower is a 5, means he takes that 7. But so far, I am still winning with this 4 doubled as an 8. All right. I can take that 6 fire, which is great because I don't have any other 6s. Yeah, let's do that. I'll play that 6 and take that 6, so we are definitely winning that. His turn. 4 water means he takes this 4. There's no 3 or 5 water out there. Yuck. I really want him to take that 1, because if I play any of these 1s, I'm going to get it, and I don't want it. So I'm going to play that 5. It doesn't get me anything. he's going to play that 5, which does take this 5. Like that. Yuck. I'm in trouble. I guess I am taking that 1 fire. Then I need to get rid of... I'm in trouble. Because if I spend this 2, that means one of these is coming in, and I'm getting that. So I need to play this water. No, but the 7 water is still potentially out there. So I'm going to play that to take that fire. Which means I don't want any more waters. I mean, any more 1s, if possible. He's playing that 3 fire. Which there's no other 3s. Down is 2, up is 4. Nothing happens. If I play the 2... I take another 2. No, but that's fine. But if I don't play the 1, I'm going to get double 1s and die. But even if I do play the 1, I'm going to take this 1 and die. So I have to do that. I'm playing the 2, which gets me that 2. And lower would be a 1 red, is already out. He plays his last card, which is this 7 water. Which means he's taking any 7s from my... this is a problem. When you play an Arcanum, the capture ability targets your opponent's spell. So he's going to take any other 7s, which is that one. Ouch. And he's going to capture the lowest ranked fire, which is that one. Oh, that actually worked really nicely for me. And that's a water, so a 6... or a 1 water. I don't have them. That actually worked out not so horribly because that goes there and yeah, he's going to win. That goes there. He doesn't have any more 3s, which is a problem. All right, that's the end of the game. Checking my cards. I don't have any doubles, so nothing flips. Over here, this 7 is a double, so that flips over. Like that. That flips over like that. Which means water. He's got 3 and I've got 3. The problem is he's got the higher value, so he wins water. I don't know how to put it there. Water, he wins. Then green, he's got 2 plus 4 is 6, 11 minus 1 is 10, plus 6 is 16. I've got 3. He wins the greens, which means he wins the game. But just to show you here, I've got 6 and 4 plus this doubles this. 8 and 6 is 14. He's got 1 minus 1 is 0, which means I do win fire, but he won 2, I won 1. That means I lose the game. But you know what? That was a quick play. I'm going to flip over these 2 styles, reset everything, and play through one more time to see if I can do any better in my second play. All right, so removing 1 card from the game again, placing out my 2 cards into the ether. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9. He's got his cards there. I've got my cards down here. 1, 2, 3, like that. Then styles. I said I was just going to flip the others, but let's give them a shuffle and see what we get. I will be playing Patient Owl. He will be playing Armored Crab. Patient Owl says, after backfire is checked, add +1 to fire and water for each leaf in my spell, including face down leaves. And the Armored Crab style says he does not flip, he does not backfire any water cards. So if he has a water card that's matching something else, the other card will flip, but the water card will not. All right, so starting with me, fire and water scores for leaves in my hand. So let's get some leaves. I can't. But if I play that 2 next turn, I can. So that 2 goes there. Drawing a card. He plays there. 7, nothing happens, but he takes the lowest green, which is a shame because I wanted that one. But that means I can play that 5 to take this 5 fire. He plays 3 water, which means he takes that 3 like that. I can take the 3 water if I play the 7. Yeah, let's do that. I get this 7. And that 3 for the lowest water off of that 7. Card. I need some leaves. He's playing the 5 of water, which I don't want because of that. And that gets him this 5 green. Oops, those are all green. 2, 3, 5 means he's winning that suit, but that's okay. I don't want that. Let's play that 1 because I can get it with the 2 next turn if I want to. He plays the 6 leaf, which means he does take that 7 because it's above 6. Okay, I don't want that 5 unless I can get a 5 leaf, and he already has it, so I don't want that. Although he doesn't have any water or fire, so that's not the end of the world. Because if I play that 6, no, that's fine. I'll play the 2 and take the 1, like that. He plays a 4 fire, nothing happens. All right, well then I'm gonna play this 2 fire, take a 2 water, like that. He plays a 4 earth, which means he gets a 4 fire. All right, so I'm playing 2 cards and keeping 1 card. I don't want to keep that. I don't want to keep that. I want to keep this. A red fire is not a great idea right now. So I'm going to play this green 1 for nothing. He's going to play that 1, means he takes this 1 and this 2. Like that, and like that goes there. Ooh, now I can play the 6. But the 3 will kill that 3. I can keep the 6. Yeah, forget it. I'm just going to play that 3, which does nothing, and hope they don't get anything better. They play that 6, which gets them this 6. They've got all the greens. That's it. Yeah, that's it. I take that 6. They take this 7. And I think I'm okay. So we go into final scoring. Blue is 7. I've got 3. Hold on, let's check for backfire. Ooh, they do have backfire. Even better. Their 7s flip, except that 7 does not flip because of the armored crab style. Do I have any backfire? I don't. After backfire, add +1 to fire and water from leaves. I don't have any, so that's it. So he's got 7 water. I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 is 12. I win water. Yay. Then, that's gone. Green he'll take because I have nothing and he's got everything. Even if that 7 is face down, that's fine. He takes green. But he's got 6 fire and I've got 12 fire, so I take it and I am the winner. Yay. All right, so that is the end of that. Let me show you the other styles you haven't seen yet. Patient Owl and Thieving Monkey you've seen. Armored Crab. The other side is the Ponderous Bear style. It says during backfire, your lowest ranked pair does not flip face down. The Hidden Fox style here says after backfire, move any face down cards from your spell to your opponents. The elements remain the same. And that's it because the other side of that is Blazing Lion that you've seen. So again, the only new cards for this expansion are those 3, as well as the 3 7s here, Geomancy, Pyromancy, and this one here, I believe, Aquamancy. So taking a look at the art, again, I love the artwork and the design of the Mysticana deck. These 7 cards tie in very well with the rest of the deck. Big fan of components. Card quality from Button Shy is always great. That's basically it for components. Maybe back up top and I'll let you know what I think about the game itself. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed those playthroughs, and I do hope that you were able to understand a little bit more about the game from the 2 plays. So here we go, Wild Magic, a new expansion for Mysticana. This is now the 3rd Mysticana game that I'm covering on my channel. I previously covered 9 Perils, which is one of the games in the sort of core set, and then I covered Cave of Djinns from Roshni Patel. 9 Perils is one that I felt was interesting, but it didn't really have that much bite to it. It didn't really wow me all that much. Cave of Djinns I did enjoy quite a bit. I should mention here 9 Perils has a sort of follow-up version of it called Harbingers that I do have a copy of, and I will be reviewing soon, so I'm curious to see how that changes things up for 9 Perils. But here we are talking about Wild Magic. And I have to say, Wild Magic goes up there with Cave of Djinns as another game that I really do enjoy from this system or from using this Mysticana deck of cards. So at its core, this is a sort of head-to-head battler designed as a 2-player game where I play cards to capture cards, you play cards to capture cards, and at the end of the game, whoever's captured the right cards is the winner. So this is designed as a 2-player head-to-head, but now in the solo mode uses a sort of automated opponent that you are fighting against doing the things that you would be doing in the game. So what is it that you're doing in the game? On your turn, there is in the game, there is a set of cards in the center of the play area called the Ether. And on my turn, I'm playing a card into that Ether and then capturing cards matching the value of card that I've played and then the card below it in the matching suit. Or in the case of the AI or the Automa or the automated player, whatever you want to call it, they will also capture one higher. In addition, this game adds to the original 1 to 6 deck of cards in 3 suits. Now it's 1 to 7. It adds a 7th card. And when you play that 7th card, you also capture the lowest valued card of the suit that sort of beats in the sort of rock, paper, scissors, leaf, fire, water, and my brain's blanking on the right order, but in that order you also capture as well. So the point of the game is that you're trying to capture cards in the 3 suits. And at the end of the game, whoever has the highest value, total value of all of the cards they've captured in said suit, win that suit. And whoever wins more suits is the winner of the game. Except that there's one more additional twist, and that is if you ever capture, well, at the end of the game, if you have captured any 2 cards, exactly 2 cards of the same value in different suits, obviously, because there's only 1 per suit, those cards will flip over and become valued -1, which could really, really hurt you in that suit if, say, for example, a 6 or a 7 suddenly becomes a -1. Your total value is going to drop quite dramatically. The interesting thing here, though, is that there are 3 cards of each value because there are 3 different suits, and if you get all 3 of them, then the cards don't flip. So there's a little bit of a push your luck aspect here to how do I work to make sure that I don't get the 2nd card of a value that I already have? But then if it's early enough in the game or for whatever reason I get stuck with a card that I didn't really want, I can hopefully later on then recover by getting the 3rd of that type. Except that every time you play the game, 1 card is removed from the game at random without looking at it. So it could be that the card you're hoping for is not even in the game that play. And that really adds for an interesting decision. Because sometimes you'll take that 2nd card because that 2nd card is a value that's not that high. Maybe you're matching 2s or 3s and a 2 or a 3 to a -1 isn't that big a deal. So maybe it's worth taking that flip in order to get some other card that you really want based on the card you're playing to capture cards from the Ether. Or maybe something happens that you sort of end up with the card, or you know at the end of the game that you're going to end up with a specific card. Well, then you're going to work real hard to get that 3rd card so that that doesn't flip. But also this end of the game sort of best 2 out of 3 decision is really interesting to me as well, because what that means is as I'm playing through and capturing cards, it's not just about capturing high cards. And it's not about winning everything. It's about focusing. If I can focus on 2 suits and do very well in those 2 suits, I can kind of forget about the 3rd suit and not really care about it. Or I can sort of focus on values and try to get middling values or higher values in sort of everything, keeping my opponent from getting those values, and then I can take everything. So it really does make for an interesting puzzle about what to capture, when to capture, and then also remember, when you're playing a card, you're capturing stuff that's in the ether, but then your card stays in the ether. So it's also about setting up future turns by playing cards into the ether, hoping your opponent doesn't take that card so that on a later turn you can play something else and take that card into your personal spell, which is the sort of scoring area you've got to score better at the end of the game. And it really does make for an interesting puzzle. But if it were just that, I'm not sure I'd be as sort of positive on the game as I am. But the other 3 cards that come in this expansion are dual-sided cards, and I can't remember right now what they're called. I think they're called style cards. Basically what they do is they give you some kind of unique ability or condition or scoring or something that twists up the way that you play for that specific game. And what that means is maybe it says that one of them says your lowest fire card is doubled. So if you're aiming for fire and your lowest fire card is something high, maybe I don't have the 1 or the 2 or the 3, I have a 4 or a 5 and it's doubled, now I've got an 8 or a 10, and that's going to be really hard to beat in that suit. But if I hit 2 and they flip over, now that lowest one became a -1, it's now a -2, which makes things even worse for me. So I have to sort of focus on getting fire, but I also have to focus on not matching fire in any other suit. And that changes up the way that I'm going to play the game. One of them gives you additional points for fire and water based on the number of the sort of leaf or earth cards that you collect throughout the game. Well, now I want to make sure I have high valued water and fire, but I want to get lots of leaf cards because each card is going to add 1 to both of those suits, which is going to be huge at the end of the game. One of them says that at the end when we're flipping cards over, water cards won't flip. So that means if I match a water with something else, it's only going to be 1 -1 instead of 2 -1s, which is very, very helpful again. One of them lets me capture cards from my opponent's spell rather than from the ether when I play specific cards. And every single one of these switches up the way the game plays, both for you and for your opponent, which means you're playing differently to sort of work with your ability, but you're also playing differently to sort of counteract the ability of your opponent, which is very important here. So the solo mode, it's not going to be perfect because it's not thinking, right? But the way that the solo mode works is pretty well designed, because by adding in the ability for the solo opponent to also capture the card 1 value higher as well as 1 value lower, it does mean the opponent is doing more stuff than it would as a regular opponent. And that sort of does counterbalance the fact that it's not very smartly thinking, because it does mean that you have to be more careful about the stuff that you're leaving in the ether when the opponent is taking their turn. And you do absolutely, just as if you're playing in a 2-player game, have to think about which cards they're going to be taking and which cards you can take and how you can sort of force your opponent to potentially take 2 of a specific value so they flip over and you do better. It does work very well, and I enjoy this quite a bit solo, but I will always play with those style cards. So I won't ever play on the easy mode anymore using this without the style cards. And I do tend to win more often than not on the normal mode when you both have 1 style card. So generally when I play this game, I didn't show it in the video because I wanted to show you more of a sort of normal flow, but I will play on the difficult mode, which gives me 1 style card and gives the opponent 2 style cards, which really means I have to pay extra attention to what I'm putting into the ether and what I'm allowing the opponent to do based on whatever those abilities are that they've got. And every time I play this, I'm loving it. You see it plays in like 5 to 10 minutes. Super quick play, but lots of stuff going on in my brain as I'm playing, and it feels really good for it to happen. I'm enjoying this one a lot. I know that there are lots of expansions coming that offer new games, but I'd almost love to see an expansion for this expansion with some new style cards added in just to twist things up even more moving forward. Or maybe some kind of twist on this, just like Harbingers, which I haven't played yet, twists up 9 Perils. Maybe there's sort of a future version, an advanced version, a sort of level up of this version. I'd love to see what's coming, but I'm really enjoying this one, just like I enjoyed Cave of Djinns, and more than I enjoyed any of the games, well, that I've played so far, which isn't all of them, in the core set. If you're a fan of Mysticana, if you're a fan of head-to-head battle, capture card kind of games, definitely give this one a look. That's basically all I have to say about this. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for you. As always, if you did enjoy it, please remember to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon below, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks.